Hey everybody, so as we start getting back to life here, myself included, I'm starting to think more about work, and I'm actually in the office right now. It's pretty slim pickings in here, but for those of you who don't know, I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate with the Santa Barbara Group. My team and I brand ourselves as the Santa Barbara Group there. So I thought as I'm starting to think about getting back into what was considered normal and now feels quite awkward, trying to get back into some type of work routine, I thought I'd start by diving into what's happened in our Santa Barbara real estate market since this whole thing started, and compare it with maybe the beginning of the year through now, so we could get a good little snapshot of how things have changed from about mid-March till now. So I went ahead and ran some statistics, and I'm going to share those with you. And I started off by running year-to-date comparison from January through today, comparing that last year, January through the same time last year. And then I went ahead and whittled it down just to COVID time from mid-March through today, and same thing, mid-March last year through the same date last year. And so some interesting stats here to share with you. As you could expect, the number of sales has dropped significantly. So whenever you look at year to date this year versus last year, down 24%. When you carve out just the COVID time this year versus that same time last year, down nearly 50%. So that's the number of sales. The active listings, again, down 15% year to date. Carving out COVID times, we're down 17%. The median price, and I'm doing these stats for the south coast of Santa Barbara, so that includes Carpinteria all the way up through Goleta and obviously Santa Barbara proper and all our communities in between. Median price, this is interesting. This is up 5% when you look at the whole year to date. And when you carve out COVID times, same deal, up 4.7%. So medians are doing all right. And this can sometimes get confusing because you compare that to average and you might see a little bit of a different story. For example, year to date, our average is down 9%. So the average sales price right now is down 9% year to date, but the median was up 5%. So I think that just says that maybe there's a concentration around a certain price point that is probably closer to that median price, which is sitting at 1.1 million, whereas the average sales price is sitting at 1,514,000, where it used to be a year prior, it was averaging 1,669,000. So a little bit of a difference there. Now, whenever you look at just the COVID times, this is March 15th through today, we're looking at an increase in the median, like I said earlier, 4.7%. And the average price is actually up 1.7%. So the average went from 1,506,000 to 1,532,000. And this is this little carved out piece of time comparing March 15th to today versus that same chunk of time last year. So interesting. The market really doesn't seem to be taking a hit statistically on pricing. What is taking a huge hit is the number of sales and also the active listings. Those are down as well. But days on the market is going down. So properties are selling quicker, probably because there's less to choose from. And let's see, the sales price to list price is staying about flat. Sellers are getting about 90 to 92% of their list price. So that's kind of interesting, I think. Some other news, what the Santa Barbara Group, me and my team are doing personally. We've sold 12 properties to date that we've closed escrow. We're currently working on 3 listings that are active. We also have 2 more coming up in the next week or so. All of those are in that price point of about high 7s to $1 million. And most of them are some type of townhouse or condo. We do have a multifamily as well, a 4-plex for $2.5 million. We have 3 escrows currently active right now. So our business is definitely down a little bit as well, but we're feeling like things are picking back up and the activity is growing. So that's a little snapshot of the Santa Barbara real estate market and what is happening here locally in the south coast of Santa Barbara County since COVID. I hope this has been helpful for you to kind of understand what's going on. And basically what I'm seeing out there is a really I can't believe I'm saying this, but the market is actually really hot right now, especially in that million price point, the $1 million, give or take, maybe a couple $100,000, and especially below that. I've got an offer in on something right now for a buyer. There's 6 offers on it. I know of several listings that have anywhere from 4 to 12 offers on it. So the stuff that's hitting the market and is priced well and shows well is definitely getting a lot of activity. We've got another place closing at the end of the week, and that one was on the market. We reduced the price, got it staged after the tenant moved out, and this is all during the COVID times. And that price reduction in the staging produced 2 offers and ended up going over asking price. So I think we had the timing just right to where the market was starting to heat back up after everyone was staying home for so long. And now they're slowly inching back out there and slowly starting to think about re-engaging their life that they put on hold. And a lot of that is home ownership. I think a lot of people are reevaluating their living situation, and this being locked at home has probably put a lot more value on home ownership as opposed to renting, or maybe even being in some type of apartment style unit, having that personal space, that private space that's safely secured away from other people is valuable. So I think that there's a a new engaged interest in home ownership, to where maybe it was starting to fall away amongst maybe the younger demographic. Now they're starting to see the value of it, I think. If not for investment reasons, for security reasons. You don't want to have to go through these situations and not have a nice secure place that you could call your own. Also, we're seeing a lot of people coming from other areas that are just looking at Santa Barbara, and it still has its same value it's always had of being incredibly beautiful, a nice community, small population, surrounded by mountains and ocean. All these things still exist. And now what's even making it more valuable to a lot of people is that we're outside of these major metropolitan areas that are experiencing a lot more headaches, a lot more turmoil with this stay-at-home. And so those areas like the Bay Area up north, the LA area, Orange County area, San Diego area down south, a lot of those people are looking to change their lifestyle, maybe figure out that they can work from home, maybe relocate, or limit some travel plans and maybe just buy a property that they could visit regularly here in Santa Barbara. So we're having those conversations. So a lot of dynamic changes, and I think the takeaway is that Santa Barbara has always had some intrinsic value for its beauty, for its lack of inventory, for many, many reasons. And I think that just doubled down that value factor recently. And so it's going to be even more valuable, I think, to be owning here in Santa Barbara. And this market is going to be even more protected than it has in the past from various changes in the marketplaces and downturns and things like that. So all in all, looking very positive for residential real estate here in Santa Barbara. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay safe out there, and hope to run into you as we start getting out and moving around town.